Hey guys, what's up? Cardfight here, and today I'm here with another Cardfight Vanguard deck profile. Today we'll be doing a deck profile on the Messianic Lord Blaster with Majesty Lord deck. So the main focus of this deck is Messianic Lord Blaster and getting his condition of having the 6 blasters on the field. So that's why some of the options for this deck might look a little funny. But the main purpose of this deck is just to troll the crap out of your opponent by hitting them with at least 6 crit to the face, sometimes maybe more. So we're running the starting Vanguard. Obviously, any Royal Paladin starting Vanguard will do. Next, we're running the star of this deck. It's Messianic Lord Blaster. So on your turn, if you have 6 or more blasters on the field, you get the power of all and original critical and power of all of them. So obviously, it's going to be a really big Vanguard when you're swinging with him. And the second skill is when you drive check a blaster card, you can call it to a empty regard circle. So his second skill kind of helps him out with the first skill, and sometimes if you sack into a blaster, then sometimes it'll be pretty funny. Yeah, since we're running a lot of blasters in the deck, hitting a blaster with a different name might be more likely than before. One of the main problems with this deck previously was that there wasn't enough blasters in the deck, but now that problem is kind of fixed with Majesty Lord and Blaster Dark being able to play in this deck. It is a continuous skill, so it will proc as long as you fulfill the conditions. So we're running 3 Majesty Lord Blaster, since he's the backup Vanguard of this deck. Mainly you want to use him to stack up your markers and stuff, so that you can hit for bigger numbers. And he also serves as another blaster card, so you can fulfill the condition of the Messianic Lord Blaster. And you can also play him as a rear guard, so that's pretty nice. Next, we are running 4 Blaster Blade. Not too much explained there. 4 Blaster Darks. Even though the main focus for this deck is Messianic Lord Blaster, in all honest opinion, MLB is still the better card. So if you want to play a competitive deck, you're probably going to use the MLB build instead of this build. And you can also run Blaster Arrow if you want. I am currently not running Blaster Arrow just because I feel like riding into Blaster Blade or Blaster Dark is a lot stronger than having an extra blaster name. So this is Blaster Arrow. It's an option you can have. It pretty much gives your units unable to be targeted, the effect of not being able to target it by your opponents. But yeah, I feel like riding into either of these is better. So I'd rather run more copies of them. Next, we're running 3 Blaster Rapier. So Blaster Rapier is another blaster name card, and what she does is when this card attacks, if you have a blaster or a Arc Saver Vanguard, you can check your look at the top card of the deck and put it either top or bottom. So this card actually works with Messianic Lord Blaster. If you don't have enough blasters on the field, you can kind of have a sneak a peek and see if there's something that you need there. So that's pretty nice. Obviously, you can also use her to stack her triggers if you want with MLB. So she's a very nice addition to the card. Ratio-wise, I think you can run one of these if you don't want to run 3 Lievrod. If you want to run 2 of these and then 1 more of that's fine too. But I feel like being able to search for either of these is more helpful in this deck. And he also helps you set up for rushes and help you set up the board for Blaster Blade if you want to do a rush. So that's mainly why I'm running 3 of him. This is the only non-blaster normal unit we're running in this deck. Oh, sorry, no, that's that's wrong. We're also running Wingle Brave. That's the other non-blaster unit. So in this deck, we're only running these 2 units as non-blaster units. We're not running Star Call because we're not running the Crossroads of Light and Dark. If you want, you can run Star Call instead of this, but I feel like this is better because as long as you have grade 2s in your deck, you can call. While Star Call, you kind of need to have blasters in your drop zone, which is not that hard. But early game, it's easier to search and set up your board than to have your drop zone already up. And I feel like not running the Crossroads of Light and Dark will kind of limit the profit you get from Star Call, so that's mainly why I'm running the Avro instead. So Wingle Brave is obviously one of the main cards you want to ride into and boost with early game, so you can get as many blasters as you can in your hand. So this card is very, very important, and yeah, hope you guys ride into him when you're playing this deck, because getting your pluses off your Wingles is so essential for helping you set up for the Messianic Lord Blaster. Sometimes he's like the key card you need to either kill your opponent in the first turn, or not first turn, first grade 3 ride, or not, because if you do ride into this and you have blasters, all the blasters that you got from your Wingle checks, then it's very, very likely you'll kill your opponent if they don't have a perfect guard. Or if they're running the Sentinel crits, then they are pretty much out of luck. Next, we're running 4 Blaster Javelin. So this is another blaster name, but it's grade 1, so kind of helps you with your back row and fulfilling the 6 name conditions. And it is a 10k booster if it's boosting a blaster or arc saver. And if you have 6 or more blasters while it's boosting, you can choose one of your opponent's from rear guards and bind them. So it's also very good against decks that rely on their rear guards. So because you get pretty much a free board removal. Not that great against decks that can replenish the deck easily, replenish your field easily, but I think he's still a nice addition to have. Next, we're running 4 Blaster Dagger. Really, Blaster Dagger is here to give your blaster units boost. So the skill is, if you have 6 different blaster names on the field, then all of your units get boost. All your blaster units get boost. Then the second skill is, if you have a blaster arc saver Vanguard attack hits, then you can return this card to your hand. Most of the time you won't be using the second skill late game. You can use it early game just so you can have some extra shield if you need it, but I feel like most of the time you won't, unless it's like the last attack of that battle, then maybe. For the triggers, we are running 8 draws, 4 of them are the PGs, 4 crits, and 4 heals. So the reason why we're running so many draws is because you want to draw as many blasters as you can. So that will help you out. The draws will help you out with that. Also, if you do ride into MLB, the draws having lower shield value won't matter as much, because you can. He's very good defensive unit, so he can help you stall out some games with that. So that's when running 4 draws. If you think, 8 draws. If you think the draws are a bit much, you can swap 2 of them out for 2 more crits. So you're running 6 crits, 6 draws. But I feel like running 8 draws is more trolly, and it's definitely does help with hitting into your different name blaster units early on. The main thing that you really need are the grade 1s. Since your grade 2s, you have a good variety of options and you can search for them. So yeah. But that's pretty much it for this deck. It's a very fun deck to play. Consistency wise, I do think my previous MLB deck is more consistent. So if you're planning to play competitively, or if you want to have if you only have choice for one deck and you want to play more competitively, then I definitely suggest going with that build. It's just more consistent. The searching out is better, and I guess it's just a more solid deck overall. But explosive wise, this deck is definitely more explosive. If you do have a perfect field with Messianic Lord Blaster, your opponent really is dead if they don't have PG. So there's not much else to say there. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this deck profile, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think there's gonna be like 1 or 2 more Royal Paladin deck profiles after this. There's just so much stuff to play around with the new supply set out and the premium collection stuff. So that's mainly why I've been posting so many Royal Paladin deck profiles. As you guys know, I'm not really playing that many clans right now, and the clans I am playing, they're not as creative as Royal decks, I guess, because there's just so much variety. You can play Alt Mal. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make an Alt Mal premium deck soon, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this deck profile, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't. This is Cardfight, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!